Hello, welcome to your Thursday night free card making tutorial. I hope you're all well. My name is Jill Lancet and welcome back. I'm so happy that you're going to spend a little bit of time crafting with me tonight. Now, this is not going to include this washi tape. I think I might have, overdone it in the last couple of videos. I'm giving this a little bit of a well-earned rest tonight, but I want to show you what I got in my last order. And it was this fabulous little, very simple little bundle. Now, you can buy them separate, but if you buy the bundle, you'll get 10% off. So it comes with this gorgeous little stamp set, and you've got some lovely little images that you're going to be able to use. And if you buy the bundle, you'll get these little punches. There are 3 in the bundle: the star, the Christmas tree, and the Christmas stocking. So that's what we're going to use today. I'm using one little stamp out of here, and that is Christmas time is here. The card that we're making doesn't even require a sentiment if you don't want to put a sentiment on the front of this card. I'm going to go ahead and get all the gear out that we're going to need, and I'm going to start with showing you the card. So that's this card here. Now, look, I have, as you've already know, a craft room full of stuff. And I found these 2 rolls of ribbon. I was looking for something the other day, and these popped out, and I was like, together they look pretty Christmassy. Apart, not so much, but yeah, together. So what I've done here is I've just made 3 strips. This has got some gold foil paper behind it. There is our green ribbon, there is our red ribbon, and I've just popped a little faux bow on there, and I'm going to show you how easy this card is to make. And literally, you could probably make these, till the cows come home. You can use scraps. It requires just that strip of each of those colours. That is wild wheat. You could use daffodil delight. What is it? Delight? I don't know. Daffodil delight. Yep. I've used wild wheat. It kind of looks a bit like, an antique-y sort of gold. I've used a cherry cobbler and shaded spruce. So I think we'll just get going, and I'll pop that up there so I can see it. You won't be able to see it, but I can see it. Now, just a couple of things. This month, from the 5th of August, which was the beginning of this week, till the 31st of August, there is a 15% off on 2025 to 2027 in-colour products. Now, it may not be all of them. It's applicable to a select load of products. It starts on the 5th, it ends on the 29th, the 31st, my goodness. And it includes select inks, cardstock, designer series paper, embellishments, and other products that include these new in colours. Only products featured in the 2025 to 2027 in colour pages are included in this promotion. Some products are excluded from the sale, including month by month album retreat 2025 kit, and products are only available while stocks last. So it's a great time to stock up on those basics. You can get the designer series papers and cardstock and all of that sort of stuff. So that's that. The other thing I want to offer you guys, there's my email address, tilly2145@gmail.com, is the matte template. Now we've got A4 and US letter size. This is great, specifically if you're watching a designer from another country. When they give you the measurement, you can check it against our little template here and see that it's matte 1 and then whiz down to your US letter size and see what mat 1 is, or thereabouts. Those measurements may not be the ones that they use exactly, but I'm sure you will find something close enough. So email me, you'll get this PDF. It's free. There's no strings attached. Yeah, a lot of people have got them. I've actually cut them down. I like to see things visually. And when I'm designing, I also use the US letter size to make sure that the information I'm giving you is correct. So anyway, that's a freebie and great information on a fantastic 15% discount. Right, so what I have here is some scraps, and I'm going to cut these down. Now, this is the smallest scrap I have of the wild wheat. So now what I want to do is make the 3 strips, and I'll show you when I'm finished. 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so here's my 1 1/4 inch line. Now this will fit both US and A4 cards. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that one. Pop that over there. With my other 2, these were more manageable strips. I'll cut this down to 14.3, which is the same width as mat 1. So if you're in the US, you want to make this 5 1/4. In Australia, it's 14.3 centimetres. So whatever your mat 1 length is, you cut it to accordingly to that. So we want a 1 1/4 inch strip. So I made it 1 1/4 for both of them because usually there is a long line on the inch measurements, the imperial measurements, so I can follow that all the way down, and it just so happens that it fits. So I've got some more scraps that can be used at a later time. This is going to be cut to 1 1/4, and then I'll chop this down because that will leave me with a decent piece. So there's another scrap for a future time. 14.3. Look, little tiny bit of wastage. Now, so both of those are 14.3. Let me cut this one down to 14.3, and then I'll show you that they do actually fit both cards. What did I just do with, crikey, here they are, stop looking. So this is how I design. Okay, here's my metric. This is my metric card base. So that is the same size as my card. Okay, so in the US, I have done exactly the same thing with this piece here. And this is why I cut them up, because I've got a visual reference. I can take this off the ring if I want to. I can take that off the ring. But these aren't the right length this way, but you will see that they will fit this way. Okay, so the gap may be just a little bit wider, but if we keep the measurements uniform, everybody will be happy. Okay, so what I've done is I have made the next measurements to suit my A4. Okay, now this, I played around with this so that this would fit inside the punch with the edge right up against it, and it would be relatively centered when we go along. But I want to show you how to rule this up. Okay, now I've got, because I don't know where my rule is, I still don't know where that is. I still don't know where my take your pick is either. But, you know, let's Let's compromise. Okay, so with the A4, I have, hold your horses, honey. I have this written down somewhere. Okay, I've made these inches just for ease as well. So 13/16 of an inch. So I'm just going to go along here, oops, of an inch. So if these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I want 13/16. So in between that is a 16th. So that is 8/16, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to make my first mark there. Now in the US, I want you to mark it at 5/8 of an inch. So 5/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's less, it's not as long, okay? Now, once you've made that first mark, you can simply just line that up at your 1 inch mark on both of them and just mark it at inch intervals. Now you should have 5, if my calculations are correct. So I'm just going to do that again. So 13/16, so there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm actually going to pop a little pencil mark there so I don't have to count it again. I'm putting my little pencil mark there, and then I'm moving that along to the 1 inch, and then I'm just going to go along and mark 1 inch intervals. Look, this doesn't, it's not science. Heck, it's not even real maths, but this is the way I worked it out, okay? So we'll pop that there. I've got my little pencil mark there, and I'm just going to mark this off at 1 inch intervals. Now this, you could make a template. You could actually get a scrap of the right sized cardstock. You could measure all of these out once, poke a hole, and then put the lead of your pencil in each hole and use it as a template, okay? But now what I want to do is I want to punch out the cute little, what do you call these things? Oh, Christmas stockings. Crikey, crikey. Okay, so I'm going to punch out the first one. Now I want this to be around about halfway along the stocking, and I've got the paper in so that it's flat up against, it can't go in any further. There's my little mark. It's around about the middle of the stocking. I don't know if you can see that, but it's in there. I'm going to punch that. I'm going to move to the next one. I'm going to make sure it's straight. I'm going to make sure that I've got that about halfway along. Now look, if you wanted to, you could pop a little pencil mark on the punch itself and then line that up with your little dot. If that makes life easy for you, then let's do that, okay? You can rub that off if you have to. Now don't chuck those out because we may well use those in another card. So there's our little strip of stockings. We're going to do the same thing on the red one with the star. Okay, now if this means that, again, we have to line up a pencil mark, So that is halfway along the star. Now, these marks are a little bit low, but that's okay. I'll still be able to line it up. Again, guys, you know what? A blind man would like to see this. Now, wherever you started, whatever edge you started at, side you started at, just check them and make sure that they're roughly all in the same spot. Again, don't throw those out. And the last one is our little Christmas tree, okay? So I'm going to draw a little line halfway down there. Just popped a little pencil line there. I'm going to line that up there like that. And then, I mean, you could do these in, what do you call that? Process line. And do all of your strips, cut all your strips out. Make a little template. And then do all your punching. So that's it. That's what we've got there, guys. That's basically probably the hardest part of all of this. So I liked this lineup. You can do whatever way you like. But then I saw these ribbons and I was like, oh, that would look really cute. So I've got a silicone mat here. So I thought I would use my seal. And I'm just popping a bit of seal in between each of the shapes. And then I'm going to lay this length of ribbon. Look, it pretty much does not get any easier than that. So I'm going to lay that down like that, trim it off. And dare I say, ta-da! I'm going to do the same with this green ribbon. You know, this to me, as soon as I put this behind here, I went, Christmas tree with baubles on it. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to pop some seal in between. Now I've got it stuck on here. Look, sometimes it gets stuck on there, so you've just got to be a really bit careful, guys. Right, I'm going to do the same thing with the green ribbon. I'm going to pop that behind there, just like that. Look at that. Now, with the this one, we need a piece of, oh, crikey, where is it? We need a piece of foil, gold foil, mirror card, whatever you want to call it. And this just happens to be the exact right width this way. And I want to trim that down to 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so they're roughly the same. So 2 centimeters. We'll just pop that up there. This doesn't have to be 100% straight. And again, I'm going to pop this just along here. That's the good thing about having it on your silicone mat, is that if it goes through the holes, it's not going to create a big drama. Do you know what? This is not cooperating today. I mean, What else is new, right? So I'm going to just pop that on there like that. Oh, there's a little bit of... Okay, look at that. Now we've got gold stars. Absolutely beautiful. Now, if you've got any of your pencil marks showing, you can just rub those right out. They're not going to take a terrible lot of rubbing out. There they are. Look at that. Now, all I'm going to do is pop that onto a card front. So just bear with me while I get one out. So let's fold this. This is your standard card, whatever it is in your country. Okay. And I have a scrap of, just a strip of card of, I think it's basic white. I've used this Christmas Time Is Here sentiment from the same stamp set. I'm going to ink this up in shaded spruce. And I'm going to stamp this. Now just bear with me, guys. Beautiful. Look at that. Now, let's wait and see how wide we want that. I'm also going to use a piece of this same ribbon and I'm going to tie a faux bow, and it's just a knot. Literally just a knot, guys. So, yeah. Just make it as neat as you can. Look at that. Doesn't have to be pulled really, really tight. We are going to trim it down. So now it's a simple case of lining these up. So whatever configuration, I wanted the gold in the middle just because. Now you can put some glue dots on that. You can put some liquid glue on that. You know I'm a liquid glue girl, so let's just pop a bit of that on there. I guess you could probably pop these up on some dimensional strips if you wanted to. Now, hopefully the border will be the same. Whatever it is on the sides, make that the border along the bottom. So there's that one there. I'm going to put the top one on next. So let's just pop that on there like that. You can put a bit on there if you want, not on your finger. So the same border, whatever it is on the sides, let's put it on the top and the bottom as well. There we go. Now you may have to just pop something heavy on that for a minute or two, okay? Depending how thick your ribbon is. Okay, let's just get that done. And then this one here, I've got lots of wriggle room, so I can put this one on accordingly. Now this has got cardstock, you know, like the gold cardstock on it, so we'll just do that. Pop that on there like that. This is my first Christmas card for the year. Okay, now you can put another greeting inside. I'm not going to put another greeting on this. This is going to be quick as. Now, the other thing I thought of too, if you didn't want to stamp a sentiment, online, these are still available. It's called, what's it called? Greetings for All, ephemera. So you've got a little, there's quite a few Christmas messages there. You could pop those on there like that. I've stamped this, so I'm just going to, I think I'm just going to pop that there, maybe flag the end. Let's have a look. Maybe flag the end a bit and pop this on with our faux bow. Hang on. Right. Look at that. I'm going to pop that there. I'm going to put my little bow. I'm going to actually trim this up a bit. Let's see how big we want it. Now, you know, you can muck around with these till the cows come home, right? So let's cut that bit off there. Does that look about even? I'm going to pop that there with a glue dot. Just bear with me, guys. Just popping a glue dot on there. I'm going to pop that in the middle. Now, there were 5 of these, so it's easy to find the middle there. I might pop a couple of little glue dots under those. Let's pop one under there. Let's pop it under there like that. That one under there like that. Didn't stick it down. Didn't stick it down, guys. There we go. Got my ribbon there, and we can pop this somewhere. Where do we want this? Well, look, I think it looks great without. People are pretty much going to know that's a Christmas card. But if you wanted to pop that in there, look, what about there? No, I kind of wanted it up here. I did. I kind of wanted it up here. No, I can't find a use for this after all that. I could put it there. I suppose I could put it there. What do you think? Let's pop that up on some mini dimensionals, hey? And have a look before we commit. Let's have a look. What do you think? I don't know now. That seemed like a really good idea in my head. But I'm not sure now. Maybe if I took the bow off, I could put the bow sideways. Let's have a look. See if we can do that without wrecking it. Hold your horses, honey. Oh, the glue dot came off. Hang on. Come on. Come on. Good. Oh, dear. You only have to do this once when you figure out where you want it. Okay. Look, that I want it there. I want it there, but maybe I need to put the bow like that. Maybe I need to put the bow like that. What do you think? I didn't want it to cover so much off. Let's make it a really small bow. Oh dear, yet another day in the life of somebody that's very indecisive. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. All right, another glue dot because I lost those. Hang on, hold your horses, honey. Look, that fits in really, really well there. That fits in where I wanted it to go. I think I'm happy with that. And yeah, I still haven't found my take your pick. So there you go. Oops. This one here. Right. Let's pop that under the corner. Oh, yes. Yes. I like that. What do you think? With or without? First Christmas card of the year. Yeah, I think I quite like that. I mean, you don't have to put that on there. You can put your greeting on the inside. But found those ribbons. thought, crikey, haven't used them yet. They were both full rolls. They still had the plastic on them. Can't even remember when I bought them. But look at that beautiful shine with the gold foil. We've got it. Looks like there might be little baubles or snow on the trees. And we've got these gorgeous little, oh, there's the glue dot. We've got these gorgeous little Christmas stockings. Let me know what you think, guys. Let's vote. Let's vote. With or without? Which one do you prefer? With or without? Thank you guys so much for joining me again tonight. Thank you for giving me some of your time. And stay safe, be kind. Hooray. Bye for now.